Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm David from the podcast team at I-Fal, the English learning app, and I'm so happy you're here with me today. Let's sit back. Imagine we're sipping coffee at our favorite cafe and talk about some interesting news stories. I'll keep everything in simple, clear English, and we'll also learn a few new words together. Our first story is about a well-known music critic in Israel. He appeared on a radio show yesterday, and people are talking about it. Here's the simple version. Oz Zaabi, a TV host, used harsh words against Asaf Nevo, the music critic on Walla culture. Zaabi called Nevo some rude names, but Nevo said he is not angry. He said it felt like a wounded animal biting, but he forgives him. Many listeners thought Nevo's calm answer was very professional. As an Israeli, I know how live radio can feel like a neighborhood shouting match. You drive home on Ayalon Highway after work, and you hear all kinds of voices on the radio. Sometimes people lose their cool. However, it takes real strength to stay calm when someone insults you. By the way, here's one useful word: insult, to say something rude or offensive. In Hebrew, insult is LPGV. Next time someone gets angry at you in traffic, remember Nevo's example and just breathe. Our second news item comes from the United States. Savannah Guthrie is a famous anchor on NBC. Over the weekend, her 84-year-old mother, Nancy, vanished from her home in Arizona. Police believe she did not leave on her own. They are using helicopters and special teams, even detectives who usually work on very serious cases. Nobody knows the motive for this disappearance, but the family is worried she might have been kidnapped. This story is really sad. It reminds me of how careful we are with our grandparents here in Israel. My grandmother always locks her door, and when we drive, I always tell my kids to stay close. One important word from this story is kidnap, to take someone away by force. In Hebrew, that is LHTVP. Let's hope Nancy returns home safe and sound. Next, let's switch to sports and television. Israel is proud of Deni Avdija, the young basketball star from Herzliya who plays in the NBA. Recently, almost every channel had a story about his big game, but two channels, 11 and 13, went further. Channel 11 made a friendly report that anyone can understand, while Channel 13 gave a deep dive into his statistics and his inspiring journey. Both approaches were interesting, but people say Channel 13 really captured the emotion. Sometimes in Israel, we argue about which channel covers things best, just like we argue about the best falafel place in town. When my son plays basketball in the park, I feel exactly the same pride and excitement. Oh, and here's another useful word: historic, very important in history. In Hebrew, historic is histivri. Denis' success is indeed historic for our small country. Our fourth story is about municipal taxes, or arnona as we call it. A recent report from the state comptroller shows that many cities collected 3 billion shekels more than before. They cut down on discounts for residents, and some families saw extra charges in their accounts. Even a father of 13 children found his bank account frozen until he pays. Many people filed complaints. Municipalities say they need the money for services, but people feel squeezed. I know that feeling well. Every time I get an Arnona bill, I look twice. I think of my friend who built a small home in Modian and was surprised by the new rate. Here's a handy word: discount, a reduction in price. In Hebrew, discount is hinchh. Always check if you still qualify for a discount, especially if you have children or are a soldier returning from service. Finally, our last item is lighter and takes us overseas again. Disney has chosen a new CEO, Josh D'Amaro, who is in charge of their parks division. Disney has had a few tough years with stock prices going up and down. The company also faces pressure from the White House and some debates about technology deals. Now, they hope D'Amaro's experience with parks and visitors will help Disney grow and bring magic back to millions of fans. Many of us have been to Disneyland or Disney World, and we know how Disney parks feel like a small dream. It's not very different from a family trip to Luna Park in Tel Aviv or a summer day at Yarkon Park. You find what works, you improve it, and you welcome guests. Although Disney is huge, the idea is simple: give people joy and make them feel at home. All right, those are the 5 stories for today. We've talked about a calm music critic, a serious missing person case, Deni Avdija's amazing moment, rising Arnona bills, and a big change at Disney. I hope you found these summaries clear and useful. We also learned a few new words: insult, kidnap, historic, and discount. Thank you so much for listening and for spending this time learning English with me. I really enjoyed helping you today. Don't forget to check out the I-Fal app. Only 20 shekels per lesson. And keep practicing. See you next time.